Welcome to the WION podcast. In this episode, we explore a surprising reality behind the AI boom, uncovering why, for millions across the Indian subcontinent, artificial intelligence still feels more like science fiction than everyday technology. But the reality of AI adoption is far more uneven than the headlines suggest. But step outside the boardrooms and city offices, and for a huge share of people across the Indian subcontinent, AI is still something that exists mainly on a screen, in a Hollywood movie, a viral video, or a headline about ChatGPT, not something they have ever opened or used themselves. The disconnect shows up clearly in the data. Fewer than 1 in 5 rural residents across the Asia-Pacific region can perform even a basic digital task, like a spreadsheet calculation, compared to roughly 1 in 4 in urban areas, and AI naturally requires a layer of digital comfort above that. Around a quarter of the Asia-Pacific population remains offline entirely, with no realistic path to encountering AI tools in daily life. On paper, smartphone penetration looks promising. Over 85% of Indian households now own at least one smartphone. But ownership doesn't mean equal access. Within those households, usage is often skewed heavily towards 1 or 2 members, typically men. Across South Asia, women remain up to 40% less likely than men to own a smartphone or have independent internet access, which means the household having a smartphone often translates to almost no hands-on AI exposure for large numbers of women and older family members. Perhaps the biggest barrier isn't the device. It's the language on the screen. Most AI tools, from chatbots to voice assistants, are built first for English or a handful of major national languages. For the hundreds of millions across India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka who are most comfortable in regional languages and dialects, that's an immediate wall. Education data reflects this too. In surveys of rural schools, none offered any AI-related curriculum, compared to over 40% of urban schools, meaning an entire generation in rural areas is growing up without even classroom exposure to how these tools work. AI is an abstract concept for the majority of people, something that exists in the same mental category as flying cars or robots that talk. Impressive, a little unsettling, but fundamentally not part of daily life. Interestingly, surveys show young people in India and other emerging economies are actually more optimistic about AI than their counterparts in wealthier nations, but that optimism is often based on what they've seen depicted online or in films, rather than direct experience. The risk is that AI becomes another technology that arrives in the subcontinent only for those who are already digitally privileged, urban, English-speaking, smartphone-owning, and male, while everyone else watches from the outside, the same way many experienced the early years of the internet and smartphones. Bridging that gap will require AI tools that work natively in regional languages, are designed for low bandwidth and shared device environments, and are introduced through schools and community programs, not just enterprise dashboards. Until then, for a large share of people across the Indian subcontinent, AI will keep feeling exactly like what it currently is to them, something that only really exists in the movies. Thanks for tuning into this incredible story. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more captivating stories to come. Stay tuned.